So this is going to be the second video of the 1997 Skidoo MXZ with the 583 engine. The first video is going to be titled Intro, and this one will be titled Fire Up. The machine I've had for about 7 weeks, and it was pretty cold, so all I could do then was take the airbox out, take the carburetors inside, and clean them all up and get them ready. So now it's not bad out, so I'm able to get the thing back together again mostly, and kind of rig a fuel system to it. So let's take a bit of a closer look. So the carbs are quite clean. Took a lot of time with them, but the caps, they don't show too much clean at all. Just in case anybody's looking, you can see the red mark on this carb means right, and on this carb the blue mark means left. So left means clutch side, red means magneto side. Anyway, the machine was purchased, well, the past user had it tarped over and didn't use it for about 3.5 years, and then when I purchased it, they couldn't come up with the cap to the tether or to the ignition switch. There was no key. So anyway, I had to loosen off the console and make a couple of adjustments to the wiring so that the ignition system thought that the tether was capped and that the key was in the ignition and turned on. So we confirmed that by coming out a couple of nights ago. We pulled out the spark plugs, put the ignition leads onto the spark plugs, and laid the spark plugs on the cylinder top. It was pretty dark, so we pulled the recoil a few times and we got a nice bright white spark. That was great. So that was pretty encouraging. So now it's not really horrible out. It's only March 6th. It's about 2 above. We've been getting a lot of rain. Looks like winter's pretty much done. There's really not a whole lot of snow left anymore. So, fuel system. I didn't want to have to be pulling this recoil about 35 or 40 times. So, anybody who watches this, you know, this isn't a great idea. This isn't something that you should be doing unless you're, you know, pretty careful or just feeling lucky. Anyway, so I got this priming ball. It's 3/8 and some 3/8 hose, and pulled off the gas tank hose. The gas tank is full of, well, around a gallon or maybe 5 liters of turpentine, it seems like. So I'm not going to deal with that till it gets a lot warmer. Pull the tank out and clean it. Anyway, I'm going to start it up right away. I have run it a couple of times already. Good news, it runs great so far. So I'm going to pause this now and get my camera person out, and we'll fire it up and show you how it runs after sitting for 3.5 years. Seems pretty good. Stay tuned. Also, the engine did sit for 3.5 years, and I don't think it was set up to be left alone like it was. So for a couple of weekends before I fired it up, we pulled the spark plugs out, shot some of my favorite synthetic two-stroke oil into the cylinders, and turned the clutch over by hand about 20 revolutions. Then let it sit for about an hour. Then poured some solvent, or maybe Varsol, into the cylinders, and then turn that over by 20 revolutions. Then let that sit, and then the week went by, and next weekend same thing, next weekend same thing. So hopefully, if there was any seizing of the rings, or the rings are rusty, hopefully that would have broken them loose, cleared it up. And it seems that it has, because the engine doesn't seem to run too badly. It's actually quite good to me. So anyway, we're gonna get camera person out and give this thing a go. It was kind of strange. I was hoping for nice, happy engine sounds and nothing like bad, nasty motor noises. But it's pretty good. Here we go.
Yes.